What it is, YouTube? It's your boy Nitzy coming back with another bullseye of a tutorial here today on the channel. So we got a really dope vocal preset here for Noodah05. So we're gonna get to it right now. This is gonna be how to mix and master them dope, pro, mainstream, melodic, auto-tune rap vocals. So let's get to it right now.
I don't know what it's done, I feel lost again. Everything come with a price, I know it costs again. Thought you had the key to my heart, but I gotta lock you out. I don't know what it's done, I feel lost again. Everything come with a price, I know it costs again. Thought you had the key to my heart, but I gotta lock you out.
I don't know where to start, I feel lost again. Everything come with a price,
I know it costs again. Thought you had the key to my heart, but I gotta lock.
Okay, so we got the Noodah05 vocal preset right here today, and I'm also gonna play the other part. So this preset right here is really dope. I don't know, when I heard this song, Please Come Home by Noodah05, it kind of also reminded me of No Cap. So I'm gonna play this other part right here too. So this is a very dope, versatile preset for, you know, getting that pro, mainstream, auto-tune melodic vocal from home, all right? So I'm gonna play the rest of it too.
I don't know what it's done, I feel lost again. Everything come with a price, I know it costs again. Thought you had the key to my heart, but I gotta lock you out.
Trial 24 hours open just like a Waffle
She
House.
said, please, can't you come home? You know the streets is dangerous, don't you be out there. You know the streets don't love you, you don't need them. She said, please, can't you come home? You can put the gun down, you don't need it no more.
All right, really dope, really dope. I love how Noodah05 on this song, he kind of gave like a no cap type of vibe too. So this doubles as a no cap preset as well. You feel me? So it's really dope. All right, so let's look at what it sounds like with and without the Noodah05 preset. He's a dope artist that signed a 4PF Lil Baby's label. So they check this out.
I don't know what it's done, I feel lost again. Everything come with a price, I know it costs again. Thought you had the key to my heart, but I gotta lock you out. I don't know what it's done, I feel lost again. Everything come with a price, I know it costs again. Thought you had the key to. She said, please, can't you come home? You know. She said, please, can't you come home? You know the streets is dangerous, don't you be out there. You know the streets don't love you, you don't need them.
So a really dope type of you know, sound that we have from Noodah05. It was like one of those emotional, pain, struggle, auto-tune type of songs. So it's really dope. I noticed that whenever I'm being a mixing engineer, the first thing I always think about is the texture. Does something feel like it's brand new, fresh out the plastic, or does it feel like it's kind of like a refurbished PS5 or something like that at GameStop? You know, what's the condition? Is it mint, old, used, all that stuff like that? That's what I think about when it comes to the texture of the vocal. You know, it's not about just the sound, it's also about the texture. How does it feel? You feel me? Is it rusty? Is it jagged? Is it soft, smooth, silky? Right? So I noticed that he has somewhat of a modern tone in the texture while also still giving just a little bit of grit. So I used the API 560. I know the API EQ, it has this graphic EQ, it has the API op amps, the 2520 op amp, which pretty much is just the part, it's the amplification part of the API. The shit just sounds modern. It sounds kind of fresh right out the plastic. So I hit the analog. I'm mostly using this as a saturator and just kind of boosting a little bit of brightness early on and doing like a low shelf right here. This is a very different move that I did, but I'm mostly using the API to do a little bit of the janitor work, you feel me, with the mop, throwing the fucking Mr. Clean on the ground and wiping the flow a little bit real quick before we do the rest of the stuff.
I don't know what it's done, I feel lost again. Everything come with a price, I know it costs again. Thought you had the key to my heart, but I gotta lock you out. I don't know what it's done, I feel lost again. Everything come with a price, I know it costs again. Thought you had the key to my heart, but I gotta lock you out.
Okay, so yeah, I'm mostly using that as a Crayola inside of the coloring book to add a little bit of color, you feel me, to the vocal. After that, we have the SSLE channel where we start to do a little bit more work. Now where we start to pull out that broom and do a little bit more of cleaning in the vocal, mostly on that low end, you feel me? And also did like a little high shelf to help separate the high end from the rest of the mid-range for the de-esser. That's kind of like a trick I like to do using the high shelf. And then most importantly too is the VCA compressor. You pay attention to that low level ratio, with that. I made the release a little bit slower than I usually do. I see the release time in an emotional aspect. You feel me? It's kind of like if somebody gave you a gift of like $100. How quickly do they give you that $100? Some people are stingy as fuck. If they're gonna give, even if when they give you a gift of $100, they're like, they got that slow ass release time. You feel me? Versus where some people are like, here, boom, they have a different release time. So that release time for me is more of an emotional thing, right? Because the slower release time that you have is kind of like you're more stingy with the money. You're more stingy with the vocal characters. You know, like the nuances and the plosives and the vocal characteristics are gonna be held in place a little bit more, right? They're gonna be a little bit more squeezed and stingy, like that nigga that don't want to give that money for that gift. But a quicker release time is a little bit more lenient. It lets those vocal characters kind of flutter around, pop back and forth, and move. You know, they're more generous. So that's kind of how I see release time from an emotional perspective, and not no stupid ass YouTuber, oh, this is how you tame a peak and this is how quick you let go of the peak. Like, nah, bro, there's an emotional type of, you know, a psychological thing to it. And that's very important with pain music. You feel me? Because pain music, he's rapping about his life, and you want the listener to be able to be emotionally engaged with the music. That's what makes it feel like more than a song for Noodah, you know?
I don't know what it's done, I feel lost the game. Everything come with the price, I know it costs to give. Thought you had the key to my heart, but I gotta lock you out. I don't know what it's done, I feel lost the game. Everything come with the price, I know it costs to give.
Woo, got that bitch sounded exactly like Noodah. After that, it's a de-esser.
I don't know what it's done, I feel lost the game. Everything come with the price, I know it costs to give.
Yeah, so we got that de-esser doing a little bit of work too. And after that, we have REQ. And this is more like a kind of like a tonal balancing type of situation for Noodah, or like how I said, working on that mid-range. You see as that mid-range that kind of got that camel hump, that little big back. So most of that mid-range is where the heart is at, right? That's the feeling, right? That's the emotional type of resonance of the song, the mysteriousness, you feel me? That's the warmth too. So I'm just really cleaning this up, and because I'm ducking this down, this kind of makes this sound louder, you feel me? And of course I'm doing the high shelf and everything, so this is kind of like just mostly adding most of the articulation into the vocal, and also putting the emphasis on that lower mid, where that pain, that struggle, please can't you come home, you feel me? That low mid resonance makes it feel more human. It makes the vocals feel more warm and relatable. That's very important for street rap, because if we can't relate and you're not from the streets, you talking about picket fences, people ain't gonna feel it, bruh.
She said, please, can't you come home? You know the streets is dangerous, don't you be out there. You know the streets don't love you, you don't need them. She said, please, can't you come home? You know the streets is dangerous, don't you be out there. You know the streets don't love you. She said, please, can't you come home? You know the streets is dangerous, don't you be out there. You know the streets don't love you, you don't need them. She said, please, can't you come home? You can put the gun down, you don't need it no more.
All right, so you pay attention, especially on that green belt, just doing that little cut, kind of put more emphasis on the low mid. Like, it sounds clearer now, and because it sounds clearer, because I don't put the windshield on the front of the whip, now we kind of see what's in front of us emotionally, but with your ears though, you feel me, type shit. Like, now you still hear that low mid, like the vocal sounds more clear, but now you still hear that heart, you still hear that pain, that pressure, you feel me? After that, we have a C4 working, and that C4 is just now kind of like holding that low mid in place type shit, you feel me? And we're using the optical and soft. It sounds very natural on that low mid resonance.
She said, please, can't you come home? You know the streets is dangerous, don't you be out there. You know the streets don't love you, you don't need them. She said, please, can't you come home? You know the streets is dangerous, don't you be out there. You know the streets don't love you, you don't need them. She said, please, can't you come home? You can put the gun down, you don't need it no more.
So that's the thing about it, being an engineer, bro. You're like an emotional painter at like a carnival or a festival. When you go to one of those, like, you know, state fairs and shit like that, they might have a guy like drawing and shit like that, and do like one of those quick little paintings or like a Polaroid picture. You're trying to emotionally take a picture of what the artist is fucking feeling and putting into the goddamn music, bro. That shit don't have nothing to do with rolling off mud, taming peaks. Like, that shit is stupid. Anybody who says that shit, bro, they don't know shit about music, and they don't want to see you win, bro. Because if you really know some shit about music, you feel me? I keep bringing it up, bro, because when I was a young nigga, on YouTube, I kept hearing these stupid ass niggas say that shit. And these are the same niggas. When you type in mix and match, it's the same niggas, bro. It's literally the same niggas after all these years, bro. And I'm like, damn, bro. I remember when I was like 18, 19, watching these little videos, bro. You almost fucked me up, bro. Telling me EQ is about rolling off mud. Telling me that motherfucking compression is about taming peaks with your stupid ass, bro. All right, after that, we have the Arvox. And the Arvox kind of got like that low mid density, you feel me? That's that more of the heart, you know, like we doing a heart transplant. We giving more of a heart to the vocal, you feel me? And we understand that that low mid area is what we've been working on consistently in these last 3 moves, you feel me? This move, and now this move, you feel me? Cutting, now boosting it back with compression, a little bit of that plump Georgia peach, you feel me?
She said, please, can't you come home? You know the streets is dangerous, don't you be out there. You know the streets don't love you, you don't need them. She said, please, can't you come home? You can put the gun down, you don't need it no more.
You feel me? It kind of puts him like in the front row. It kind of puts him in the front row of the audience. Before he sounded like he was sitting in the back of the church. Now with that Arvox, he's really pulling for it. Please, can't you come home? You feel me? See, that has like kind of like nothing to do with the sound, but more like the believability. You feel me? Of what the rapper is saying type shit, right? After that, we got the fresh air, of course, to give us a little bit of that. You know, that sparkle, you feel me? A little bit of those, you know, sparkles that you put on ice cream, you know, a little bit of that sweetness type shit.
I feel lost again. Oh, yeah. Everything coming with the price, I know it costs again. Thought you had the key to my heart, but I gotta lock you out. She said, please, can't you come home? You know the streets is dangerous, don't you be out there. You know the streets don't love you, you don't need.
I like how like that type of like thing kind of puts like it kind of puts like a more of a texture, especially on the high end. It starts to crumple up a little bit. Then we have a de-esser going into that silk vocal. I like that silk vocal too, bro. I kind of use it to like generate distortion a little bit. As crazy as it sounds, like it kind of has this way of making the vocal sound a little bit more incomplete. Like it's poking a bunch of little holes into the vocal, and it just kind of just generates this little type of crumple. You feel me?
I feel lost again. Oh, yeah. Everything coming with the price, I know it costs again. Thought you had the key to my heart, but I gotta lock you out. She said, please, can't you come home? You know the streets is dangerous, don't you be out there. You know the streets don't love you, you don't need them. She said, please, can't you come home? You can put the gun down, you don't need it no more.
You feel me? It's like a certain texture behind certain songs, bruh. That just like, it makes it feel 3D. You feel me? It makes it feel a little bit more 3D, because now you could imagine a little crumpled up like candle or something like that, or a little crumpled up like, you feel me, scroll, or like, you know, like an old letter, you feel me, that has like burn marks on the side type shit like that. That imagery is what you could translate into the mix to feel it, make it feel a little bit more like biologically triggering. Like, oh, you feel that shit, please, can't you? Because if you don't feel that, bruh, like that song doesn't work. That style of auto-tune doesn't work if you can't get the feeling behind the words to come through the speakers, you know? And then after that, we have Kramer Tape doing like a little slap, whatever. You can't even really hear it. You can feel it though.
I feel lost again. Oh, yeah. Everything coming with the price, I know it costs again. Thought you had the key to my heart, but I gotta lock you out.
And honestly, that's just giving us more distortion and texture than anything. Then we have an R-verb, bright chamber, and like I always say, chamber reverbs, they add clarity, but we kind of have like a chamber reverb, then we hit in it with a 7.5 IPS, like a lo-fi chamber reverb. So like clarity, but in a mild way. You feel me? Like hot sauce, but in a mild way. And then I'm doing like a shelf as well, right? And I'm doing like a resonant bump. And I don't even know how to really explain these little moves that I do on the reverb, but it just has a way of where like I don't want all that stupid top end, because it's already a chamber reverb. Like a chamber reverb is naturally gonna be bright as fuck, especially if you look at like the EQ settings on the R-verb. You see like all that high end is already coming through, so it's already stupid bright. Now I'm just trying to dim down the light, you feel me? Like the light in the room is already turned on, now I'm just trying to pull back the brightness a little bit type shit, you know? But then I do like a resonant bump, and then I don't know, it just puts like an emphasis. Like the reverb is mostly emphasizing that please and all those consonants, you know?
I feel lost again. Oh, yeah. Everything coming with the price, I know it costs again. Thought you had the key to my heart, but I gotta lock you out. She said, please, can't you come home? You know the streets is dangerous, don't you be out there. You know the streets don't love you, you don't need them. I feel lost again. Everything come with a price, I know it costs to give. Thought you had the key to my heart, but I gotta lock you out. She said, please, can't you come home? You know the streets is dangerous, don't you be out there. You know the streets don't love you, you don't.
Now it starts to feel like all like kind of like all the tail ends of the words, like you feel me? Like all the tail end of the words is what is highlighted, is what's reacting to, like, you know, what the reverb is emphasizing type shit, right? So at that point we have a doubler stomp. We know what the doubler stomp does. It kind of like greases up that auto tune, and then we have like a Fairchild too as well. You feel me? On parallel compression.
I feel lost again. Everything come with a price, I know it costs to give. Thought you had the key to my heart, but I gotta lock you out.
24 hours open just like a Waffle
She
House.
said, please, can't you come home? You know the streets is dangerous, don't you be out there. You know the streets don't love you, you don't need them.
Yeah, so we use the Fairchild and we use the MV2, boost up all of our nuances and stuff like that. And then on our ad-libs, we have a Fairchild, less distortion though, you feel me? Like less input gain, rolling off mostly the bottom and letting the fresh air, just super bright hi-fi ad-libs with that silver vocal. You feel me? Doing that all you can eat challenge, you feel me? That mukbang. I'm letting that wave silk vocal do that mukbang and eat up all the high end, you feel me?
I feel lost again. Everything come with a price, I know it costs to give. Thought you had the key to my heart, but I gotta lock you out. She said, please, can't you come home? You know the streets is dangerous, don't you be out there. You know the streets don't love you, you don't need them.
You feel me? Letting almost all the high end come through type of situation. So super clarity, crystal clear ad-libs. So this is the end of the video here today. I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Suggest more artists down below. Also, if you want to get the preset, you could catch it in the description. All right, so I just want to say thank you very much for being a great part of my YouTube family. Appreciate y'all now, gang. Peace.